Yes,
That's
we are now recording. So, so my name is Royce Macklin. I'm an independent consultant and part of a executive regional vice president team with my wife, Dara. And we're very excited to have you on the call tonight. Tonight, we are really excited because we have a special guest joining us tonight, Nadine LaCroix, who is also an executive regional vice president from Canada. She played junior golf with Dara, friends with us, and ended up partnering up with us in a business. And Nadine. You're just awesome. You're fantastic. You're a great leader. You are a wonderful consultant, and you are a great representative for this company and our industry. And so, I'd asked Nadine a couple weeks ago if she would take some time because she's a busy girl, running a very big business up in Canada. Asked her if she would take some time to come on our call today and share with us about how to build a strong district and develop a good clientele and customer service and all that stuff. Because Nadine routinely blows her district up every single month. And so we need to get better at that. And I can't think of anybody that better to teach us about that. So Nadine, with that, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet, take some notes, and look forward to hearing what you have to share with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction. I love seeing all your faces. I'm going through. So thank you. Thanks for asking. And I'm so excited to see you all in real live in Las Vegas. Those of you that are joining us in a week and a half.
Yeah, a week and a half. We'll be in Vegas.
So soon. I can't wait. Can you hear me okay? I hear a little bit of background noise. I don't know if the other lines are muted.
Working, yeah.
Okay,
awesome. Mute your line. If you're on the call, go ahead and mute. I'm not sure if I know how to mute everybody's line, but if everybody can mute their line, and I'll mute mine.
Okay, awesome. So I was just sharing a little bit about customer service on the call with my region. It's still going, and I'm learning from my team because honestly, this is the least skilled area that I would say I have in my business. And by least skilled area, this is kind of how I look at it. If you draw a picture of the Mercedes, you guys, I'm going to start with this. Okay. It looks like this. Start dreaming about this because you can earn this in your Armand business if you don't have it yet. Okay. You should know what this looks like. There's the Mercedes symbol. And I've always looked at my business. I like to simplify it because, you know, we can overcomplicate it. And I think customer service is a place where sometimes we overcomplicate it and overthink it, and it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. So that's what I want to share tonight. But as I've always looked at my business like this, like there's three main areas that I need to focus on, and equally, because sometimes it's easy to get caught up in some other areas. So one of the areas is new business. That's your groups, your one-on-ones. Anytime you're meeting with someone new and you're sharing the story, that's one area. Okay, the second area is personal development. You have to be getting better. You have to be learning. You have to be reading. You have to be attending the conferences. I mean, if you're not in Las Vegas for some reason, you got to be registered for the virtual conference. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because even if you're away for those few days doing something different, you can access it later. You have access to the recordings. Somebody asked me recently, well, do you think it's important that I go to this conference, the GTC? And I said, well, let me ask you, how bad do you want to build a business? Because if you want to build a business, you got to be there. I mean, that's the only solution. And now that there's a virtual option, I mean, it's just amazing. Okay, so that's personal development daily, you guys. I mean, if you spend an hour and a half a day on your business, spend 30 minutes a day in each section. And that's a really nice balanced business. So then the third one is going to be customer service. Anything you do with old people. So we got new people, we got old people, and we got you. Okay, that's it. That's the three. That's your business in a nutshell. We're done. No, I'm just kidding. But that's basically it. So customer service is a really important piece. And 12 years ago, that when I joined Arbonne 12 years ago, that was the piece that I was worst at. I had the most fear. I knew how to learn. I have a couple university degrees. I was a teacher, so that was fine. I knew how to present and how to share and teach. I loved that part. But the customer service to me was sales. That was sales. That was like the lipstick lady of, do you need some more lipstick? And I just was not going there. I had so much fear about that area. And you could tell in my business, and you'll be able to tell in your business too. There's clues if you're slacking on which area. So if you're slacking on customer service, there's clues. You probably have customers that order once and don't reorder. There'll always be a couple of those, you guys, but if no one's reordering, that's on you. Okay, that's customer service. And that this is the stuff I was identifying in my own business. So let's not beat ourselves up about this. Let's just look at how we can get better, because I've got better. It's still my weakest though. Okay, it's still my weakest. And my district, you guys, 12 years later, my district every month does about 10,000 QV in volume with me doing nothing, with repeat orders. Like, and I am so at customer service. Okay. So you just have to be so at this, but you can't be terrible. You got to be at least so. And so if we can just improve a little bit, it's about progression and improvement. If we can just improve a little bit, like start to visualize what your business is going to look like 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road. If we don't do customer service, that doesn't happen. You've just got yourself a job because you don't have repeat orders. Repeat orders, repeat business, it's critical for this business working like that. So visualize that. Your business can look like that too. Okay, and I remember hearing that early in my business is you want your district to maintain your area. And if you're not a district manager yet, that might not make sense. But those of you that are managers, you know what I'm talking about. You want your district to maintain the next level. You want your district doing 10,000. I heard that in my first year of business and I set that as a goal right away. Wouldn't that be amazing to have my whole area maintained in my district so that no matter what other people were doing in my business, I knew that I could have a solid personal business. That's what your district is. You guys, it's your personal business. So I set that as a goal right from the start. And I encourage you to do the same thing. And then that goes up through all the levels. So in your area, maintain your region. In your region, maintain your nation. That goes all the way up. Okay. And as you promote, that'll make sense. So that was my biggest fear. The other evidence, I guess, if you're falling down on customer service, maybe people are only ordering once. If they come up for renewal and nobody renews ever, that's a clue on customer service, because you probably haven't talked to them all year until you, and I've done this before, okay? So preaching to the choir of like, hey, it's time to redo. Like, who are you? I haven't heard from you in a year since I placed my first and last order, okay? So that we're dropping the ball if that's the only time they hear from you. I think that more evidence if you're dropping the ball is if you don't have great relationships with your customers, or really any relationship with your customers. Like if you bumped into one of your customers on the street, would you kind of go the other way, or would you be like, hey, how are you? How's your eye cream? You know, like how's your kids? What are your relationships like with your customers? Because customer service is about building relationships. It is not about making more sales, but you guys, the sales follow. That's like a side effect of great customer service. That's not customer service. And that was the beginning. When I started, I thought customer service was making sales. It was being pushy. It was being salesy, but it's not. It's about developing those relationships. It's about having your customers say to other people, I have the best Arbonne consultant. Would your preferred client say that about you? I have the best, my Arbonne consultant's better than your Arbonne consultant, but they say that. That's the goal in customer service, you guys. You want people to know that because of them, you have a business. You want them to know that they're an important part of your business. Make sure you thank them. Make sure you tell them how much it means to you, because if people don't feel appreciated, they're going to go somewhere else. Okay, and all of these are lessons that I've definitely learned over the 12 years, and I'm still learning. So I had my team share some tips with me, because when Royce and Dara asked if I would share, I was like, oh man, it's still the part that I'm the worst at. And so I asked my team if they would give me some of their tips, and I actually learned a lot. So thank you. I've got some new things that I'm going to start doing too, that my team does. That is really good. Okay. So let me just go to my notes here and hit some of the big stuff. All right. When your mindset is about service, this is what I wanted to share. So I had a big shift 6 months into my business that totally turned my mind around about customer service and follow-up. Totally turned it around in a 30-second conversation. Isn't it funny how sometimes one phrase can just, blow your mind. And that's what happened to me with customer service is 5 months into my business, I earned my Mercedes-Benz. Okay, record time. Why? Because I was great at meeting new people and sharing the story, and I was great at personal development. I mean, I was up till 2 in the morning every night learning. I was listening to everything I could. I was a sponge. Like those first two, I was rock solid in those, and so I promoted fast. But then people were falling out as fast as I was putting them in because I didn't have that customer service part, and I was so afraid of that. So to build a stable long-term business, I had to get good in that area. And here's what changed it for me. Month 6, I picked up my Mercedes-Benz that I had earned, yay. A week later, I get home, I get a call from Mercedes. Hey, it's Mercedes-Benz calling. I had never had someone call me after making a purchase to ask how I liked it. If I was never, I don't think I've ever. I mean, think about the last things that you've bought. I mean, I paid $10,000 and put new shingles on my roof. They never called and asked if I was satisfied with my product. I just got a new fridge. I go to home parties of other businesses. I don't get phone calls asking if I'm happy with my purchase. Do you? So people aren't expecting it. I think that's important too, you know? So if you're listening to this going, I have failed the customer service, I've totally dropped the ball, I'm a loser. No, they're not sitting at home going, why isn't Nadine calling me? People aren't expecting you to call. This is about going above and beyond. This is about really like rising above people's expectations. So and really gaining that customer loyalty. So they're going to say, wow, my Arbonne consultant's the best. That's what we want. That's what customer service gets you guys. So this call from Mercedes was, hey, we're just checking in to see how you're enjoying your car and if you have any questions. And I said, love it. I have no questions. They're like, great. Well, have a fabulous day. Thank you for your business. Awesome. Thanks for the phone call. I mean, I don't even think it was 30 seconds long. And I hung up the phone and I went, whoa. I don't feel sold to. It wasn't about them trying to sell me another Mercedes. I had just bought one. It was not anything what I thought follow-up and customer service was. That call it made me feel cared for. It was the opposite of making me feel like a sale. If I had never heard from them again, I would have felt like I was just a sale. So you guys, when your customers, when they never hear from us again, they feel like they were a sale. So if your mindset is like mine was, which is if I make that call, if I follow up on their product, they're going to think I'm being salesy or pushy or whatever. No, it's the opposite. And that's what Mercedes taught me it's the opposite. I felt so cared for. Like, wow, they took 30 seconds to call and see how I'm enjoying my car. It was amazing. It was amazing. 30 seconds totally changed my mind around. People feel cared about. People feel like they're not just a sale when you follow up. Hey, did you get your product? Are you loving everything? It's 5 seconds. Send a voice memo on your phone. You know, like I've started doing that a lot. Instead of texting, you can just send a voice memo through text. And then they get to hear your voice. And you can even just 15 seconds. Hey, I'm just checking in. I'm thinking you should have got your Arbonne by now. Did you get everything? Is it like Christmas? Are you so excited? Have you dug into it yet? I mean, that's it. And they hear your voice and it keeps you top of mind. And it keeps Arbonne top of mind. And all of that is good for business, you guys. That's good business. Okay? So that was my big mindset. So then here's a couple things from my team. And I hope my phone doesn't die. I'm losing power fast. Okay, just 1 second. Where am I at? I'm at 10%. Okay. We got it. And I should watch the time too. My gosh, I could talk forever. Just cut me off, Royce, when I'm done. Okay, so here's a couple examples. Okay, so Kate, she's the new district manager on my team. And her top tips were, she has an exclusive Facebook group just for her customers. I have this as well. And I encourage everyone in my region, once they're a district manager, that they create a private Facebook group just for their customers. So this is where you can post things like the Pure Perks. You can post things like what I'm doing this month, and I've done it before and just fell off the wagon, but I want to do it every single month, is do a draw for a product, just a surprise product for everyone who places an order without me. Without me, like they're and ideally using the app. I'm trying to teach all my customers to use the app. So every conversation, I'm like, oh, have you tried the app? Have you tried the app? Because when they're shopping by themselves and they see the rewards, they shop more, they're happier, they can do it at 2 in the morning without me. My business grows without me having to be there. I mean, this is all win-win-win. This is all good stuff for business. So and you can actually see when you pull up your orders, like your order history, in your office online, you can see if people ordered through the app. Did you know that? So then you can actually go in and see, oh, everyone who ordered in the app, I can put their name in and draw for someone, because what gets rewarded gets repeated. That's really important. If you're taking any notes, write that one down. What gets rewarded gets repeated. It's what happens with our kids, happens with our business. Reward the behavior that you want to see repeated. I want my customers shopping for themselves. That is the biggest behavior that's going to lead to a big, stable business in the future. It's huge. So reward that. You can reward it. Here's what Kate did. So she's got this group for her customers. She shares testimonials. I did like a video on mine for my customers the other day, showing them my eyeliner, because I was playing with the new liquid eyeliner. I was like, look at my eyeliner. I mean, it just can be dumb little things, but they want to see you, they want to interact, and they want to get to know you. So don't use this group as a place to just like post sales. Use it as a place to build relationships with your customers. And do some Facebook Live videos, like let people get to know you, share some pictures. It's about building relationships with your customers. So something else Kate did is on Valentine's Day, she actually got a pack of like the kid Valentines, and she is a new district manager, and her customers so far are all local, her preferred clients. And so she added a chocolate protein bar to each of the Valentines and dropped it off. She said, I spent an afternoon, and I would guess she's got between 10 and 15 preferred clients as a new district manager. And she said, and I drove around and I just dropped it off to each of my preferred clients. Happy Valentine's Day. Here's a healthy chocolate on me. I appreciate you. I mean, add that everywhere. I appreciate you. Thank you. It means so much to me that you're part of my business. People want to feel important. If they don't feel valued, if they don't get that appreciation, they're going to be gone. That's the biggest thing for loyalty. To gain loyalty from your customers, them feeling appreciated is going to bring you so much loyalty, you guys. So any way that you can show appreciation. I thought that was a good one. So she uses special occasions as kind of a reminder to do customer service. I did that this Christmas. We had a nice family photo done. So I went to Costco and I got 300 Christmas cards done. Some of you got one from me, and I sent them to all of my preferred clients. Just a Christmas card to my family. I didn't write anything. I think I just said, thanks for being part of my life or my business. I don't know. I wrote a little note on the back of each card. And that was it. I didn't put in samples. It was just a Christmas card from me to you. And hopefully that went on a few people's boards or fridges, and they're like, oh, Nadine, ooh, Armand. Everything, you guys, is a trigger to make them think of that, because your customers have a lot of choices in where they buy their shampoo. They have a lot of choices. You want them to know that their purchase matters to you, and you want them thinking of you when they run out of shampoo. Okay. Okay. So that was a couple of things that were good, I thought. Jen is an area manager, and she does a thank you for every order. I don't even come close to this. So she prints off her list at the end of every month, or probably beginning of the next month, and she will send like a tea bag and say, have a cup of tea on me. And she just writes a quick little handwritten thank you note. She has a lot of repeat purchases too. I do it very sporadically every few months, but that's something that she does. Short and sweet is what she said. Don't get caught up in the words that you're going to say, and don't be salesy. Just be short and sweet. Be thankful. I appreciate you. Happy spring. I mean, that's it. I appreciate you. Happy spring. That's a great little note. Just getting a handwritten card means so much. It's the thought that counts. It really is. It's the little things. Okay, Heather, she's an area manager, and she said the same thing. The little things matter. She said handwritten, she only does it about every 6 months. She prints off her sales reports, and you can do this in my office too. I'll usually do it before a road trip. When we're doing a family road trip, I'll print off my sales reports, and I know I've got like 6, 8, 12 hours in the car ahead of me. And then you can see actually, you can order it, like who placed the most orders over the last year, over the last 6 months. You can pull all this information up, you guys. And so then, because I have so many preferred clients, I won't send to all of them, but I'll go and take like the top 20 or the top 50 or whatever. And I'll do that when new catalogs come out too. New catalogs are coming out here soon. Arbonne doesn't send your customers new catalogs. That's our job. And if you have, I would say 50 or less customers, send one to everyone. They're not going to shop if they don't. And sometimes you get caught in that trap. Like, well, they haven't shopped in a few months. They're not gonna if they don't get a reminder of Arbonne and they don't see what the new products are. So that's your job to send the new catalogs. That's not Arbonne's job. Well, they don't do that anyway. It'd be nice if they did, but they don't. So that's our job. Okay, Amy, she said she will pop in the mail like a $5 Starbucks card, Blackberry Fizz, things that are mailable. They don't cost you more than one stamp. And she also said offering a special. So this is something about customer service. She said, when you're offering a special, when you're letting people know about their rewards, when you're letting preferred clients know that they can get a free renewal and a free gift if they do an order at the same time. It's amazing. That's customer service. If you don't tell them about that, you're not doing them any service. That's not about being salesy. And we really need to get our head around that. I mean, if you had a free gift and a free renewal on the table and your consultant didn't tell you that, you'd probably be ticked. Like, put yourself in their shoes. Or if they call you, think about getting a phone call on the first of the month saying, hey, I remember having a preferred reward from one of your preferred clients. I'd like to use that. And then you have to say, oh, that expired last night. I didn't remind you because I didn't want to be pushy. I mean, it doesn't really hold much water, does it? Remind people. It's not, you need to use this. I mean, that's pushy. But don't do that. But just say, hey, heads up, you have a reward that's expiring, you know, next week. If you want to use it, I know I would want to know. Just, I know life is busy, wanted to send you a quick reminder. Okay, that's great customer service, you guys. I love when I get reminders like that from people. That's awesome. And then she talked about, I'm not dead yet. I just had an incoming call. I'm not dead. I'm still here. And then she talked about leading with fear versus leading with love. I don't know if you've listened to that Go for the Gold yet. If you follow Donna Johnson on SoundCloud, one of the trainings they did about 3 weeks ago, the topic was leading with fear or leading with love in your business. And if you're leading with fear, if you're worried about what people are going to think about you, what's that person going to think about me? I'm being pushy. That's fear-based. And if you're leading with love, then it's thinking about them and that this is a great deal for them. You're thinking about the other person and how you can be of service to them. That's geez, that person really wants me, sorry. So that's a great one. I would recommend that Go for the Gold call. Okay, I talked about that. Okay, lastly, great customer service is win-win. I think I've covered this already, but I just want to wrap it up and remind you why it's so good for your customers. They're getting a better deal if you give them great customer service. They're getting great products. We all know that. They feel cared for. They feel appreciated. You reaching out makes them feel cared for. What gets rewarded gets repeated. To sit down, I don't know if you've done this before, but when you sit down and you start writing thank you cards, like it almost makes me cry with so much gratitude for my customers and my business. I mean, it moves me to tears sometimes, you guys, to sit down and write out those thank you cards. And, you know, at the beginning of my business, when I was so terrible, like my customer service pie was 0 at the beginning. Like I said, I only did those other 2. I didn't do any service because I had so much fear around that area. And now and so at that point, like trying to write out cards and stuff, that would have been very fearful for me. It would have been a chore. I might have done it, but it was not done in the right spirit. Like I would have stayed up late. It would have just been something to do to check off my list. And now I know I'm coming from a place of love and true service, because when I sit down and I write out my thank you cards, like literally it brings tears to my eyes, because I'm thinking my lifestyle that I have now, I replaced my teaching income in my first year. I've been 11 years now, stay-at-home mom, Arbonne. I'm so active in my community. I have free time. I have time for my business, time for my family, time to learn. I mean, time for my health. It's incredible. It's time, it's income, it's all of it. It's this lifestyle that I couldn't even have dreamed of. It was a dream when I started Arbonne. And I have that because of my customers, because of my team, and because of my customers. I wouldn't have the life that I have. if it wasn't for them. And so that is coming from a true place of gratitude and a true place of, I want their experience with Arbonne to be the best, so that they say my consultant is the best, so that they refer me. And so my last tip is, I will do just a grand gesture every now and then. Like, I had someone on my team post something on Facebook, and she said, I wish someone would get me this mug. I love it. And she's a consultant on my team. And I just went online and ordered it and shipped it to her house. And I mean, a month later, she was like, oh my God, whenever it arrived from wherever it came from, oh my gosh, I just got your mug. That's amazing. She's never going to forget that, you guys. One grand gesture, she's never going to forget that. Look for opportunities to be of service. I got a tag on Instagram a couple days ago from a lady that I know in my Rotary Club that is an acquaintance of mine. I showed her Arbonne. It wasn't really for her, but she referred me to someone who's now a consultant on my team in qualification for district manager. And so I sent her in the mail a pair of socks that I had made up. One says, if you can read this, bring me wine on the bottom of the socks, and some fizz sticks, and I don't know, just kind of something fun. But she lives in my city, but I mailed it because that's fun to get things in the mail. And she's taking pictures and she's posting on Instagram. Oh my gosh, she's since given me another referral. What gets rewarded gets repeated. The odd grand gesture, you guys, is going to clinch that customer for life. So that would be my final tip. I hope I didn't go over.
Perfect. I was just trying to figure out how to unmute. Well, Nadine, I took a few notes. Maybe
good.
My whole page is filled up. I couldn't write. I was trying to write as fast as you were talking, and I was talking. You're talking pretty quick. Hey, Nadine, that was fantastic. You really need to do a gold for gold call, because that is such good information. And I learned a ton. Like, I'm still not great at customer service. And you shared a lot of fantastic tips in there that I think, number one, is going to help Dara and I in our business, but for sure will help our team as they work towards building a stable district that, like you, hopefully we can get to the place where you're at one of these days, where our district is easily maintaining our area. And so anyways, that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Appreciate you taking the time, and your passion is obvious for your business and for Arbonne. So thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure.
Perfect.
See you guys soon.
Yes. We'll see you in about a week and a half.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Looking forward to it. Okay, Dara, we're gonna do our book club call. I think, are we gonna run out of time pretty quick? We probably need to. We got 8.5 minutes. I don't know if that'll be enough time, but I guess we can.
Well, we can chat. If not, I can make another one real quick.
Okay, so let's talk about it. All right, so we're on chapter 5, not chapter 5, but the part 5 of how to make people like you. Okay, so how to interest people in chapter 5. Anybody who here is on? Justin, you're not in the book club, I don't think yet. Okay, Jack, you're in the book club, but you're reading a different version. Anne, are you on there? She may not be there. Let's just talk about this real quick. I'll just give a quick overview. There's Aaron. Aaron's there. Okay, guys, see you guys. Good. All right. So let's visit a little bit about this 5th chapter, how to interest people. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Talking in terms of other people's interests. Anybody have anything they want to share from that chapter?
I do.
I don't believe it. I'm stumped. I can't believe it.
I know it's so out of character. Actually, as I mentioned on the last call, lately I've been like ridiculously addicted to Cold Market, because this is Cold Market key right here.
Yes.
One, you start asking questions about themselves. And eventually interests will come up. But breaking the ice by just asking questions about themselves. What do you do for work? Do you have any kids? Are you married? Do you like your job? And just like literally just riddling off a bunch of questions to them about anything that they're doing or anything related to their life. And 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 then what happens is 9 times out of 10, I get an okay from them to add them on Facebook or something, and then I just add them on. Like I've added like 15-ish, maybe 20, either on Facebook and or Facebook Messenger in
That's
the
awesome.
last week and a half, just because I've been having conversations with people, and I just get their permission to add them on Facebook. And sometimes I'll just give them my phone and can you just search yourself, because trying to explain the what your profile picture, whatever, that doesn't really work. And so I just get them to add themselves on my phone, because this is like a computer, and it's totally mobile, so it works for everything. And so as far as finding out what their interests are, once I then find out what their interests are, I will ask a question about those interests.
Perfect.
That starts because usually they reciprocate. If I ask them a question, they say, "Oh, what are some of your interests?" And then bam, I can do, because I've had a rough idea of what they've done, what they've said, and then I've got those lined up. I can then reciprocate by saying, "Hey, I'm interested in either health and wellness or skincare or dietary or whatever." So
Yeah, no, it's a perfect lead-in, and yeah, absolutely. I like that chapter. I think that might have been the shortest chapter in the book, if I'm correct. But anybody else have anything they want to share from that chapter? Oh, we got about 5 minutes, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this next one's the last chapter in how to 6 ways to make people like you. Okay, and the overview of this chapter is essentially, where is it here? It says, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts from that chapter? I highlighted a few different things, but I really like this chapter.
5 minutes. Is it 5, 6?
What chapter are we on? Are we on, Royce?
6.
Yeah, the 6th one. So how to make people like you instantly. So it's the last of the 6. There's 6 chapters that talk about it's 6 ways to make people like you. So the middle part of the book, it's the 6th one. So the chapter right after that one, which is make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. I really like that chapter. I got a couple things highlighted. There's one here. It says on page 104, it says the unvarnished truth is that almost all the people you meet feel themselves superior to you in some way. And a sure way to their hearts is to let them realize in some subtle way that you recognize their importance and you recognize it sincerely. And I think that is, that's gold. It's absolute gold. I work with quite a few people who, and we're all around people every day, but I work with people in particular that I've been working with them long enough that there's certain things that I know they value. There's certain things that I know that they think are important. And there's certain things that they find important about themselves. And if you can find out what those things are, and if you agree that they're important, then I really think that those are things that are very beneficial, that if you can highlight to them that you agree with them on how important they are, how special they are about something, it really helps them to be, really helps them to make them feel special. And if you can make them feel special, obviously you can endear them to you to build a relationship, whether it's for Arbonne or friendship or whatever it is. So, I think that is just absolute gold. Anybody else have any thoughts?
The one thing too about what you just mentioned is the focus, instead of trying to get them to buy Arbonne, becomes, I'm going to create a little bit of a friendship, or at the very least a decent rapport.
Yeah.
Where it opens them up to, if I'm interested in this, and they don't become Arbonne clients right away, they don't become consultants right away, they're going to come to you when that time comes. And that's one thing that I've learned, at least in the last few months, is I can't be a flyby in someone's life if I'm trying to endear them to me. If I'm trying to keep them engaged and keep them interested, I can't be sending off my ask, and then they say, "Oh, well, I'm not interested right now," and then never hear from me again until I decide, "Hey, I'm going to send those persons an ask again because it's been 3 months."
Right.
Ask them how they're doing with their kids. You know, oh, I noticed you posted that your friend, your dad lost your dog. Was something, was it a dog that you grew up with? Easy stuff that is totally out there in the open when it comes to social media that you can key in on to make sure that you maintain a slight relationship with them, even if it's something that they can say, oh, you know what, Aaron made a point of mentioning that was really nice of him, and it'd be a proper reflection of your personality as well. That's something I would ask someone going down the street if that came up. That would be something that I would consider mentioning or commenting honestly and sincerely, and that's where you have to make sure that it's sincere. If I just show up in their life and comment on something and I've never commented on anything else before, then they might question it. But usually, if it's something that's fairly important to them, that allows for that amount of rapport, that if they do in the future have something that they'd be interested in that I sell, that I do, or that I can provide, they're that much more likely to come at least touch base with me before they do and go with anything else.
Right. That's right. Yeah, and it's the whole idea of, know you, like you, trust you. People know you, like you, and trust you, and you get that through building that relationship and using these skills, and especially this last skill. Then you're going to find you'll build relationships, and whether that's building relationships to lead people to Christ, or building relationships to help share our bond, or just building relationships to build a network and have more friends. Either way, they're all those skills are fantastic. So. All right, so we got about 30 seconds left, so we're going to go ahead and close out the call. So thank you so much for everybody for calling in. Next week on the book club, or next time for the book club, is going to be